Hello, my name is Landon Pa, and in this video, I will teach you how to do rendering. I've been doing digital art for 5 years, and over that time span, I've been learning how to improve my art style, mostly by adding more detail, trying out different drawing techniques, and also trying out different colors and pens. One of those art techniques I learned is rendering, which is the process of adding shading and light to art pieces to make it look more lifelike and three-dimensional. Let's take this soda can for example. Notice how it's kind of flat and dull. But when I shine my phone's flashlight onto it, it looks more lifelike and pops out a lot. This is mostly due to the shadows and as well as part of the shading on the can, which makes it a bit more three-dimensional. It is also important to note that there are 4 traditional methods of traditional rendering. This includes shading, hatching, stripling, and scrumbling. Shading is the most basic form of rendering, and it mostly involves gradations of light and dark to create the illusion of three-dimensional form. This is mostly done by smudging brushes or using the side of your pencil and rubbing it back and forth. Hatching is the use of parallel lines to create shade. Cross-hatching is a common term that you might know, and it involves crossing the lines to make a realistic version of shade. Stippling is the use of dots to create tones and textures. The density of the dots determines the darkness. This is commonly found in stuff like comic books. And scumbling, scribbled lines to create texture and tone. Other digital rendering techniques include ray casting or tracing, radiosity, neural rendering, offline pre-rendering, photorealism, stylized sketch style, collage, architectural, but we're not going to follow any of those. Those are a bit too advanced for beginners like you and me. Instead, we are going to focus on the easiest and most basic form of rendering, which is shading. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to turn a circle into an orb. And now we're going to add that trick into our art. I'm using Procreate, but any other drawing program would work. Now the pen you're using depends on the type you use when you're inking or sketching. I use Monoline on Procreate for sketching, but any pen is good, as long as you have a big pen for coloring, because a slim one will take a long time to finish. Alright, now that we have our pens, let's go back to drawing our circle. Now you can use any object for this tutorial, but for now we're just going to use a simple circle. Next, add another layer and move it below the outline of your circle. And now color it in. Make sure you color outside of the outline. I will explain later. Now, where your shading is going to be depends on where the light is going to be positioned. Is it going to be above, below, or at an angle? For this one, we're just going to go with the angle since it's more simpler. Change your pen color to white and draw a little circle on the surface. Use the red lines as guidelines for your light and make sure it's within the lines. Now we're going to add some shading. Here's a little trick you can learn. Add another layer above the one you were currently on and change the pen color to black. Now make the layer about 48%, just below 50. Now add your shading. The shape of the shading depends on the object. If it's a circle, for example, make it a bit curvy so that way it'll be in tune with the shape. Now go back to your previous layer and color the rest of the ball black. Once you're done, merge the layers and add a Gaussian blur. About 5% will do, but you can adjust it into what you think looks good for you. Now to erase the outside. Make sure to follow along the outline of the circle. Remember when I said that you should color outside the lines? Well, this is actually for a good reason. If you were to color within the lines and do blur, you'll get a white border within the outline, and you wouldn't want that. And now all that's left to do is to smooth out the ridges on the edge of your circle. And there you have it. You just turned a regular circle into an orb. Now you can use this technique for your future pieces and not just use flat colors. If you're new to art, congrats! You just learned a new art technique that you can use in your future pieces. Thank you for watching.